Tēnā koe te tauira. In this video lesson, we're going to talk about working with algebraic expressions. So here's a tip to remember. We talked about this before. Remember that it's simpler in algebra to leave out multiplication signs if you can. For example, if we have 6 times p, we're going to write that 6 times p simply as 6p. So 6 times p plus 2 is going to be written as 6p plus 2. Let's remember that the number in front of the letter means we are multiplying. Another example real quick, 5 times x plus 1 will be 5x plus 1. You're now ready for exercises 1301. All right, and now we're ready to talk about powers, also known as exponents or an index. So when a variable or letter is multiplied by itself several times, we're going to use powers. And this is the same idea as in chapter 5, where we learned to write 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 as 3 to the power 4. Now, instead of using repeated multiplication, we write out these expressions more simply using index form. Now, as we said before, r times r to the power 2, or r squared. Another example, p times p times p times p times p is p to the power 5. Now, one thing we're going to be learning now is that sometimes there is more than one base number. Here we have x times y times y times y. X times x gives us x to the power 2, and y times y times y to the power 3, and this cannot be simplified any further. And we are now ready to try exercises 1304. One example we can do is r times r times r will be r to the power 3. All right, now we're going to be ready for multiplying expressions with numbers and letters. So if you wanted to simplify 4x times 6x, and please notice that the x is in italic. The multiplication symbol is a cross. We want to simplify that. We know that 4x means 4 times x times 6x or times 6 times x. And what you should do, any numbers can be multiplied separately. Then letters can be combined and written in index form. And in the final simplified answer, the number part is always written first. So 4 times 6 gives us the 24, and x times x to the power 2. We're now ready for exercises 1305. Let's try a couple together. 6 times p would be written as 6p to the power 2. 4 times x times 3 times x, well, what we're going to do is we're going to combine the numbers, 4 times 3 giving us 12, and x times x to the power 2. Please remember to always put the number before the letter. All right, the next part of this lesson, we're going to be talking about multiplying using indices. And indices, that's another word for powers or exponents. So if we started out by writing x to the power 3 full out, x to the power 3 means x times x times x. X to the power 5, x times itself 5 times. And if we wanted to write the answer in index form, that would be x to the power 8. And that's how many x's we're multiplying there. So what we're taking away there is when we're multiplying index expressions with the same base, that base being the x, all we want to do is add the powers. So p to the power 2 times p to the power 10 will be p to the power 12. Let's put a little bit more together there. 2x to the power 3 times 6x to the power 4. Well, the 2 times the 6 would give us 12. And x to the power 3 times x to the power 4. Since the base is the same, that base being x, all you do is add the indices. And 3 plus 4 gives us 7. Okay, so here's the tip. Add this to your notes. Add the indices, but multiply the front numbers in these expressions. Okay, now we're ready for exercises 1308. We'll be right back in the next video lesson where we're going to talk about dividing powers with the same base. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Mauri mahi, mauri ora.